Welcome to my workshop right down here on the carpet. And I've got my cut-in box, my cut-in eyeball, can light, however you want to call it. And it's got the electrical hooks in at the end. And there's a little goodie here where it's spring loaded and it pops off. You look at that and you can fit it in there and snap it into place. That's kind of slick. In the old days you had a screw there and you had to kind of pop it off. So they're making things better as they go. And look at this. At first I looked at this and I thought, what the heck is this? Here's the wires. They got these little end pieces on here. Here's your white wire, your black wire. And I reach down in here and there's a ground wire. You see that? There's a ground wire. It's already attached to the side of the metal box. And this end thing is just a little fitting. Let me zoom you in there. You see that fitting right there? It's got little holes. You see that? It's got little holes there. And it's spring loaded, and you can take your wire and let's see, I got a little piece of wire here, and let's see if we can't show you this. And it's set up for 12 gauge wire and 14 gauge wire, whether or not you have a 15 amp circuit or 20 amp circuit. 20 amp circuit you use 12 gauge, and this is 12 gauge copper wire, okay? And 14 gauge is a little bit thinner than this. Well, instead of putting all your wires together inside the box and stripping the wires and everything, you just take this and you push it right in like that, and it connects. Now, I'm just doing that for an example. Now I can take it and slide it out. But what I do is I'd only strip this back so far, so when I push it in there, the black sheeting is right there at the orange connection or the white sheeting, whatever. Okay, the copper doesn't matter. But see, then you got the white one here, you got the black one. So that's kind of slick. Makes for some quick connections. You don't have to worry about wire nuts and all that. But we got to figure out how to get the cable in there. And you know, we're going to have some Romex cable I'm going to work with, and I've got some 12 gauge cabling. And this cable has a black wire in it, white wire, and a copper ground wire, bare ground wire. I'll have to get it into that box. How do you do that? A little bit different than residential boxes or plastic boxes. You just pop something out, slide your wire in there, and you're done with it. Well, I went to the store. They always have fittings for all kinds of things, okay? I went to the store, I got some little fittings, and I call these Romex connectors. They call this a 3/8 half-inch KO, which is knockout. And on the side of this box, there's a knockout, and it's designed for half-inch pipe. It doesn't mean it's a half-inch hole, okay? And they got different sizes, so you always want to measure that before you go to the store. You don't want to get the wrong clamp and say, oh, that's there's a 3/4 inch hole, I get a 3/4 inch knockout, 5/8 knockout. You come back to your job site ready to do your work, and lo and behold, your connectors are too big. Okay, so I got a little bag of 10, and this is a Romex. I call this a Romex connector. And let me show you this up close. Woo! Get you back here like this. Now see, you unscrew this side, and this slides up, and you put your wire through there. So I'm going to have to unscrew that a little bit, you know, and slide that up. And in most of these boxes, I'm going to have two cables coming in there, one going in and one going out to the next light. Okay, and on this side, in the old days, and sometimes you can still find it, this would be male threads, and then you'd have a little nut on the back side. You push this into the hole, and then you put the nut on and tighten it up. Well, this one is like spring loaded, And see the little nibs here? You kind of push it in and it springs into place and snaps in there. You don't need a nut on the back side. That's pretty slick. Now, how does that fit in this box?